And here we are for the very first big match of Juventus in Serie A, Juventus versus Roma, preparing already the other big match that we will play in a few days. Paris Saint-Germain versus Juventus on the 6th of September will be the first game of Champions League from this season 22-23, but focus on today, because after the horrendous game versus Sampdoria where we only had 1 point and Roma winning 2 times, we are already catching up, not only versus Roma, but also versus an amazing Lazio that yesterday was able to beat Inter. 7 points for them. We have to catch up, waiting for the result of Milan that can reach 7 points, but also Napoli that can potentially go at full points, 9 points. What is important is not only the show that Juventus will offer in a 360 degree before the game, because it will be spectacular today, but especially and even more important from the moment that the referee is whistling. All minds has to be on these 90 and probably even more 100 minutes, because playing versus Mourinho is not easy. Playing versus a team that Mourinho has been able to give them a cup and so that they are ultra confident is not easy. Playing versus a player in top form like Pellegrini is absolutely not easy. There will be also a part of emotions in that game with the return for the first time of Paulo Dybala at the Allianz Stadium. For the first time as an opponent, not anymore with these colors on his shoulders, but this time with the colors of Roma. He's looking for his first goal with Roma in Serie A. Will he open it today or not? The most important that we are finding are Dusan Vlahovic, because giving him 9 balls are not enough. Juventus-Roma will be a beautiful game, will be an epic game. We have to go for the 3 points, no matter what. No matter who is going on that field, 3 points are necessary. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Yesterday, beautiful Serie A. It started in an amazing way, because Monza Udinese was a beautiful game, won by Udogi with a beautiful goal after the 1-1 that they were playing, 2-1 for them. But then epic Serie A game. I was looking and thinking at the 90s, because yesterday was a real, objectively beautiful game with the Lazio able to destroy Inter 3-1. Inter che lezione. Inter, what a lesson. This is how Gazzetta dello Sport is opening their page, with Inter and Brozovic with his hand in his hairs, and then on the right side of the page you see Dybala and Vlahovic. It is their 9 today, finding Vlahovic more than the last time with only 9 touches. Vlahovic had already scored 2 times versus Sassuolo with a penalty and then an amazing beautiful goal. Tonight he will try to find also the goal versus the first big team that we will face. But also Dybala is there. Attenzione, emotions. How will Juventini react seeing Dybala entering the pitch? How will they react if he scores today? Brividi, emotions tonight. It will be a night full of emotions. Corriere dello Sport. Questo è Sarri. This is Sarri. Sarri ball yesterday. 1 touches. Also the big changes with Luis Alberto and Pedro entering and changing probably the story of that game that was 1-1 until that moment. They changed the game. They won versus Inter. Serie A is more epic as ever. Really, I promise you, the competition is high. We never know what the result will be in Serie A. It is epic. And guys, I tell you, do you want to make part of that epic moments? Well, it's quite easy. No one gets you closer to Serie A than OneFootball. Some people were asking me, Beppe, 2 days ago you told us a bit about these kind of digital video moments. What does that mean? Super easy. Soon, and you have already the waiting list that is open if you go into the link below. If you go there, you subscribe yourself for free, you will have all the information, because the meaning, the goal of OneFootball is making sure that you are able in your pocket, in your phone, to collect, to purchase, to own, but also to trade epic moments. Maybe the goal of Luis Alberto, or maybe, like we said, the goal of tonight from maybe Vlahovic, or maybe Moiskin like he did last year. Epic moments of Serie A in your pocket. Iconic moments from the past, the present, also the future. Super easy. Subscribe to the waiting list, because if you want to be ahead of your time, it's now the moment to do it. We go with a small intro video and then we start with all the news of Juve Roma. It's a longer video today, so try to enjoy before the game so that you are fully prepared. UEFA Champions League gave the list of the schedule. We start on the 6th of September immediately. Paris Saint-Germain, Juventus in their stadium. Guys, I knew it, I felt it, and it's a really bad luck. It's bad luck. Why? Because Paris Saint-Germain is in ultra form. Juventus absolutely not. Playing in their stadium, the opening game without Paul Pogba, that will absolutely not be there. At risk and question mark for Bonucci and Di Maria can put us in difficulties. But then we have Benfica in our home a few days later, because you know that we will play week in, week out. Also the Champions League alternating with Serie A. Maccabi Haifa between these games, so Maccabi Haifa in our home. Then we travel on the 11th of October for my birthday. Attenzione, alsjeblieft in Dutch. What does that mean? Please, Juventus, win on my birthday. And then we finish with Benfica, and then we have Paris Saint-Germain traveling to Juventus. Will that be a decisive day? Attenzione, I hope that we already qualified before that, otherwise we are risking a lot. Tuttosport is speaking about Dusan Dybala Day, because it is their night and we already repeated it. We go inside the Tuttosport page, Vlahovic Dybala, Hora della Verità. It is the hour of the truth, not only to understand who will win today, but maybe to understand also what did Juventus do. Were they right not renewing the contract of Paulo Dybala? Were they right to put Dusan Vlahovic in the center of the project? Today we are expecting some answers, and some beautiful answers from our new number 9, Emozione Dybala. I already spoke so much about the emotions that today Dybala will feel. Mourinho yesterday was speaking a bit about it, and he said, I have no idea what kind of Dybala will show up. Is he trusting him or not? Is he understanding that that game is maybe too much and maybe too early for his number 21? Chi è il più forte? More than Dybala, we have also to pay attention to Tammy Abraham. Why? Because he's still looking for that goals. 2 games that Roma won 1-0 without goals, or their strikers. Zaniolo will not be there. In the midfield, Wijnaldum will also not be there. Matic could play in a kind of 3-5-2 or eventually a 3-4-2-1. That will be the lineup of Roma. Who is the strongest one between Dusan Vlahovic and Tammy Abraham? Big question there. Vucinic is speaking about Juve Roma, ex-Juve, ex-Roma. What a player, Mirko Vucinic. But it will also be the game of Massimiliano Allegri versus Mourinho. La storia siamo noi. We are part of that Serie A history because they did so much for Juve, for Milan, for Inter, and also now for Roma. 2 super coaches that, you like them or not, that made history here in Serie A, in Italy. Will today be an epic game? Will it be a 0-0 without any attempts on goal? Will it be a 4-3 like we saw last season? I don't know, but I can guarantee you that I can't wait for that game. The one that is also impatient and can't wait to be there, maybe in the starting 11, maybe on the bench, is Milik, that is still waiting at the moment to have the confirmation that everything in terms of administration is ready to show up for that Juve Roma. Is Arkadiusz Milik, that yesterday was presented, a guy that we saw in the backstage video that was quite humble, also quite stressed to understand that at the moment he is in one of the most biggest team of the world. These were his words of our new Polish player. Different possibilities for the lineups of today. A 4-2-3-1 that was tested yesterday with De Sciglio on the right, Alexandro on the left, but the biggest surprise is Danilo in the center of the defense next to Bremer on the left side. On the right side, let's see and discover it. Confirmation and trust for Perin, tested yesterday with a double pivot, Rabiot and Locatelli. Up front we have a Kostic, McKennie and Cuadrado behind Vlahovic. The same men more or less that we played versus Sampdoria, but probably put in a different way on that field, because we know it, because if we repeat what we did versus Sampdoria, it will absolutely not work. A 4-3-3, it's another alternative with Zakaria that was absolutely not spoken about in the last few days to start a game. Some people were even saying maybe he will not even be there anymore, but he will be in another team, maybe Roma, maybe going back to Bundesliga. He could eventually give some physicality in the middle of the field, where we know that Roma is a bit lighter, but they have a lot of quality qualities there. Another option is continuing with that 4-3-3, but instead of Zakaria, starting with a real regista waiting for Leandro Paredes, and we are speaking about our number 13, Nicolo Fagioli, the youth. Will Allegri believe in the youth today with unleashing and unlocking Locatelli as a box-to-box? And the last one is a 4-4-2 with Milik and Vlahovic starting the game, 4-4-2 with Kostic that will really play as a winger on the left, Cuadrado as a real winger on the right side. The only thing that I can guarantee you is that Rabiot will play. So where is Roma strong? Where is Roma weak? We can see it in the different things that Tuttosport is showing us with the heat map as number 2 of Pellegrini that is everywhere on the field. It will be super crucial to block their man of the moment. In the first picture, you see that in blue, it's where Roma has more than 55% of possession. Then they have some difficulties to keep that ball in possession when they are in the other half of the team. A bit what Juventus was suffering versus Sampdoria, but also versus Sampdoria and Sassuolo in the first and the second game of Serie A. Roma has more or less the same difficulties. In the fourth picture, you really see that they were in difficulties when Cremonese were pressing them really high, because then they started playing with long balls. The fact that they are playing with long balls and not being able to confirm and to conserve that possession in the second half of the field can be a problem for Roma. So that will be the key with some players, and maybe that's why Allegri is thinking about that 4-2-3-1 with McKennie super high, impressing on the players of Roma, so that they are losing their game, not being able to play with the ball on the ground. Then on the third picture, we saw what Juve was doing versus Sampdoria, horizontal passes. This should be banned. Attenzione, Mercato news with Paredes, the details. He can arrive potentially tomorrow or maybe after the game of Paris Saint-Germain, means Monday. We are waiting for him. We are at 99.9% of the transfer of Leandro Paredes. That should be our starting regista. If we continue with another possible news, attenzione for a left back, Renan Lodi. Atletico Madrid opened for a loan with a high price tag. If you want to buy him, maybe an obligation to buy. But there is Nottingham Forest on the Brazilian-Italian player. Juventus, I told you yesterday when we started our live on the afternoon, they started a new project, or at least it's the same project that they changed the identity. Now, instead of Juventus Under 23, we are calling it Juventus Next Gen. Some people are totally crazy and out of mind because they started criticizing the change of name. Not because they don't like the name of Next Gen, but because they are saying Juventus is absolutely not investing in youth. We are not believing in youth. Well, if Juventus is doing something, at least give them the chance. Patience to believe in our youth, and maybe today Rovella can start. Maybe Miretti can change the game after playing 2 games on 2 like Rovella. Attenzione, guys. I hope you are ready for the game of today, ready to support for Juve Roma. I will be on the Twitch channel of Juventus 1 hour before for a pre-game and then the watch-along. And then we are here again, meeting us for a post-game, and hopefully this time with a beautiful win, beautiful smile. Grazie, forza, Juve.